Hey guys, it's Richard at Altcoins with another daily market update. First of all, I wanted to point out that we are starting to publish some fundamental research reports. We published two. One was on Curve last week, and this week we published on LooksRare, which is an NFT marketplace that just launched 2 or 3 days ago. So we published an exclusive report for our subscribers that covers everything from tokenomics to the NFT market trends, the competitive landscape, as well as the potential valuation for LooksRare. So if you are a subscriber, definitely check it out. If you are not, consider subscribing. Right now, we have actually some discounted plans. So back to the market review. As we indicated 3 days ago, the market had reached very oversold levels at a support that was back in December 4th, was the sort of the flash crash lows. So we actually reached those lows for many of the coins, and that served as a support level, and we bounced off of that, which is certainly bullish and positive near term. We are now in an upswing. So if we look at Ethereum, and most of the coins have a bullish momentum upswing, right? So again, we bounced off of the critical $3,000 level for Ethereum. That's good to see, but it is still below the 200-day moving average. But MACD histogram bars are rising again, so that's an indication of improving momentum, which could carry the price above the 200-day moving average, which would be very positive, maybe hopefully all the way up to 4,000. Are we now, is this the bottom of the market, and are we at a reversal point? Certainly too early to say that. It could very well be just a bounce in a down market, right? Prices never go straight up in a straight line, never go down in a straight line, but in swings. And you can see those swings even in the Ethereum chart, right? But it's been making lower highs and lower lows, lower high, lower lows. And those are indication of a downtrend, which is also confirmed by our trend ratings up here on the short term, medium term at least, certainly down. And breaking below the 200-day moving average is also bearish. So now that we're bouncing up, is this the bottom? Again, it's too early to tell. Really, it's dangerous to be trying to catch the bottoms, frankly. So it's better to wait for the trends to evolve and have some confirmation. So in this case, what we're looking for is really for the price to certainly break above the 200-day moving average. That would be a first positive step. But really, what we need is a series of higher highs, higher lows. And so a higher high in this case, the last swing high was up here, about 3,800 or so. So we really need the price to get to about 4,000 at least, if not higher, to make a higher high. And then when it comes back down, needs to make a higher low. So we've got a lot of wood to chop before we get to that point and could start talking about a reversal, frankly. Now, it does mean that we're not going to catch this at the bottom, but I'm okay with that because the risk of catching this falling knife to me is a bigger risk than being missing out on missing out on catching it at the bottom. Now, of course, if you have a very strong fundamental view, you may say that this is a good buying point, but from a technical analysis point of view, it's still not clear whether this is the bottom and we are now in the middle of a reversal. So the same goes with Bitcoin. I mean, I talk about these two as really the bellwethers for the market. And when these two start performing, the rest of the market will ride with it. Bitcoin, I would say, has even more work to do ahead of itself. It has held the 40,000 or 42,000. Really was the December 4th low. It's held those levels. I mean, breached it briefly, but for the most part held those levels and bounced up again here. But it really needs to make, in order to make a higher high, it really needs to get to 50,000. So, we've got another 15-20% gain from here to start talking about a potential reversal forming, right? So until then, we really have to be very careful, making really just very tactical short-term trades, maybe swing trades that play on the changes in the momentum, and sticking to the coins that are still in an uptrend, right? There's always a bull market somewhere, and in the last couple of days, I think we made a filter looking for coins that are in an uptrend on a medium basis and have an inflection or a positive trend in the MACD histogram, which is basically your momentum. So when we apply that filter again, I've saved it so I can just apply it. You know, the usual suspects are still there. Terra, Polygon, Near, right? And some of them have actually had really nice gains. For example, Near protocol. We talked about that in our curated charts, that it needs to break above the 1750. Why 1750? Because that was a level that it got rejected at 2 times in the last month or so. So it really created a resistance area that needed to be cleared, and all the sellers taking profits at that level needed to be absorbed. It looks like we've done that now, and we think that the price will reach $22. And so so that was a breakout. Again, follow our curated charts, you know, for some of the top coins. I think it's worthwhile their time. It gives very solid setups. And the other breakout, I believe, was in Rose. Here we talked about 45 cents as the key level. And as you can see here in this graph, as well as in the curated chart, 45 cents was a level where it got rejected a couple of times, but it's okay. It's okay because it bounced back at a higher low, right? And so it's clearly it was attacking that level with more and more ferocity, and it indeed crossed above that level, which is a signal for us as a breakout, a bullish breakout, and we think that this price could head higher, in my opinion. And so we'll see how it goes from here. The momentum is still very bullish, and it's not overbought. RSI is not at 85 or so. So we're still good in terms of the momentum here. So this is what you got to do, is look for those that are on an uptrend at least on a medium term basis. You could also look for uptrends on the short term, medium and long term basis, but that may be reducing your selection of coins too much. So those coins that are in an uptrend and hopefully still have a bullish momentum are still interesting to look at, even in this overall bearish market that we've had in the last month or so. And so in terms of spotting some potential reversals, one way to do that would be to create a filter that looks for coins that have on the short term have an uptrend, right? So these are coins that have recently had some bullish action. The trend has improved on the short term basis, but maybe on the medium term basis they're still in neutral. Okay, and then I'm going to also add a minimum market cap, so we get rid of some really low cap shit coins that have too low of liquidity and are too dangerous to touch. And so, you know, on this screen we can see some coins here. If we look at the charts that I've had, right, that have had basically a recent upswing in their price action, right? Kava, Xinfin Network, not familiar with that, and a few others. Okay, so these may be candidates for a reversal happening or taking place as we speak. Now, one of the things that we could also do is, first of all, we could create an alert for these, so that we get an alert for situations like these in the future in our email box, as well as on the notification under alerts right here. Secondly, the thing that I like to see is really breaks above the 200-day moving average. For me, that oftentimes is a confirmation of a reversal or a bullish trend. So you can see a lot of these are still, even though they've turned in the short term, they're still below the 200-day moving average. So, and that's a critical, really, resistance area. A lot of these reversals could make or break at that level. So you could also add another filter to make sure that the prices are above the 200-day moving average if you wanted to filter those out. So now we're down to 7. Okay, only those situations that are above the 200-day moving average. But also, you could also look for such recent crossovers as well, right? So that would be another way of filtering these results, is to say that I want only some recent. So you could always say last price is above the 200-day moving average, or you could say it recently crossed above the 200-day moving average in the last 5 intervals, in this case 5 days. And there's only 2 of those that are recent fresh crosses above that. Okay, here's 2 that have a short-term uptrend and have crossed above the 200-day moving average. So that could be an interesting reversal situation. So I hope that helps everyone. Good luck trading. If you have any questions, please email us at invest@altfins.com.